Jurassic World Rebirth stomps to $147 million over the July 4th holiday weekend. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, help us build a little momentum and get growing with YouTube. Let's talk about the weekend that Jurassic World just had, which is, I think, beat expectations when you look at the global box office as well. However, it is important to keep in mind that there is a caveat in here, and that is it was a 5-day holiday weekend. So it actually opened on a Wednesday. So this is a 5-day haul, $147 million domestically. And we're going to look at the numbers in a minute and look at how it compares to previous Jurassic franchise movies as well. And then here's the big question, though, especially with its very strong global take. Can Jurassic World Rebirth, this is the largest opening weekend in Hollywood for 2025, can it fend off a couple of big challengers coming later this month? And that is next week's DC's Superman, and then followed a couple weeks later by Marvel's sort of, I don't know if the reboot is the right word, but launching of the next phase. Although apparently they had two phases that most of us didn't even realize were happening, with, of course, Fantastic Four's first steps. That's going to be interesting. That is what I'm curious to see. But let's talk numbers. Jurassic World Rebirth, as we saw here, 147.3 million domestically, 171. I think they just recently changed the headline on here. Uh, Let me just double check. Yeah, they changed the headline, but if we look down, I think they have the total in here. It's 318 million, I believe, total, right? 318.3 million, which is the second best global debut for a Jurassic movie after the original Jurassic World's 525.5 million. By original, they're talking about in the Jurassic World, which was in 2015, not in all of the movies. They're differentiating between that and, of course, Jurassic Park. So that's a big number, but again, keep in mind it's a 5-day total. If we look at just the Friday to Sunday haul, it's $91.5 million, which is a little underwhelming for a big budget Jurassic flick. Yeah, the dinos are cool, but let's take a look at compare it to the original movies, or all of the movies in the franchise, I guess we should say, and take a look at what they did on here as well. You can take a look. They've got the budgets and everything. Jurassic World Rebirth opening weekend, $91.5 million domestic box office for, the 5-day is 147 million so far. 322 million worldwide. It has been updated. Look at what Dominion did. That opened to 145 million. So you think, oh, well, this did 147. Yeah, but again, this was a 5-day weekend for Rebirth, so it really didn't do as well as Dominion, didn't do as well as Fallen Kingdom. Both of those did $1 billion. And here's the other thing. And Jurassic World, of course, opened at $208 million, also not a 5-day opening weekend. That one was the highest grossing of all time, 1.67 billion. As you can see, there's a big drop when the new ones came out. It's a big drop. Now they all did $1 billion plus, which is huge, right? But Jurassic World, 1.7 billion. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 1.3. Jurassic World Dominion, just scraped past $1 billion. And Jurassic World Rebirth at $322 million after an extended opening weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see if it has legs. It seems the fans are enjoying it a little more than the critics. But again, for movies like this, critic numbers aren't really that important. In fact, I think it was Jurassic Park, the original, and then Jurassic World, the first of the trilogy with Chris Pratt, were the only two that were rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. All the rest were rated rotten. So it doesn't really matter what the critics think in a movie like this. If the $180 million budget is real, that is leaner than Dominion's $250 million. So that would be a a big thing. I don't think this is going to be $1 billion movie, maybe 800 million, but that would turn a profit. And I'm sure we will see other movies. I'm sure when Scarlett Johansson signed on, this was for a trilogy. And as long as they keep the budgets in line, these should continue to be profitable movies. Now, is it a great movie? No, no, it isn't. I'm not going to spoil anything in this one. It just had its opening weekend. Uh, Me personally, I liked all of the first four. I don't think anything can top Jurassic Park for a whole lot of reasons, from the story to the characters to just the freshness of it to the you know special effects and everything else. But I liked the rest of them. I liked the Lost World. I didn't like the end of the Lost World, right? I think it should have ended on the island. I didn't like the whole San Diego thing. Let's get the dino to follow us around like a puppy dog and anything. I think Jurassic World Park 3 gets a lot more hate than it deserves. I think there were a lot of good things in that movie. I would have liked to see Lauren Dern return to the island as well. Personally, I liked her character in those movies, but it didn't happen. Jurassic World, was it anything really fresh? No, but I thought it was a good re-entry. I did not like Fallen Kingdom. I did not like Dominion. I think those are the only two that I never saw a second time. I've seen the other four, probably all four of them, a lot, and I've never watched Fallen Kingdom or Dominion again, which should tell you something about those movies. I thought they were huge missed opportunities, especially Dominion. Here you have dinosaurs are now all over the world, and we're going to focus on this weird story about this company in this one specific area, which does not have a civilian population, which I thought was a really missed opportunity. And, I got to say, again, not going to give away details, but Jurassic World Rebirth, I think, missed the mark. And a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't really matter because we just want to see the dinosaurs and we want to see people running from them. We want to see people with um, close encounters and escapes, and we want to see people get eaten. But you know what? I don't think it had enough of that either. I think there was a whole chunk of the movie and characters in the movie that didn't even need to be there at all, that sort of dragged it down. But I don't want to go into that too much. This is more about the box office. I think it had a surprisingly good opening weekend when you look at domestic and international. And here's the question I have for all of you. Let me know in the comments below. Can Jurassic World Rebirth outmuscle the superhero movies, trying to DC trying to reboot, Marvel in a way trying to reboot after everything that's been a disaster since Endgame? There have been some individuals. Obviously, Spider-Man No Way Home was a huge success, but in general, it's been a struggle since Endgame, and this is sort of a reboot to the next phase leading into some bigger movies. Can Rebirth hold off DC Superman? Can it hold off Marvel's Fantastic Four First Steps? Because those are both dropping in July as well. They're both big budget heavyweights. I mean, Superman is probably the most well known, most iconic superhero in all of comic book lore. Fantastic Four is kind of the first family of Marvel. So, what do you think in the comments below? Can either one of those pull ahead of Jurassic World Rebirth? Will Jurassic World Rebirth have legs? That is a question as well. So let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. Smash the like button. I really do appreciate it. It allows YouTube to say, hey, other people want to see this video. Comment below, subscribe to the channel as well. Come on this journey with me, and I will talk to you later.